Hello students, this is Effective Technical Communication class and I am Uma Joshi from LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. In our last session we talked about the different formats of technical reports. We talked about pre-printed format, memo format and letter format. Today we are going to talk about the fourth format, that is the manuscript format. Now the manuscript format is usually used for reports that are very long, which may run into many pages. They are used for formal reports which are generally used to write research papers or some journals. These formats are also used to write the reports about some work or some project in hand. So the manuscript report is in a booklet format. So let us see the elements of manuscript format and how each element is written. Now please note that each element of a manuscript format should start from a new page. So let us start. Now the first page of a manuscript report is a cover page. Now how does the cover page look like? So as you can see that the cover page has the title of your report. It has the name of the person who has prepared, the designation of the purpose and the organization name. It also has the date on it. But everything is written justified centrally and it is in the center of the page as you can see. Now the next element is the title page. Now as you can see, the title page is almost similar to the cover page. But here the details about to whom you are submitting the report is also included. The third element is the certificate. Now the certificate is used only if the report is about any research and it is for the academic purpose. So how does a certificate look like? It looks very simple, and even if it is in a form of a small paragraph, you will write the certificate only on one page. Now what does the certificate consist of? It certifies the originality of the work. And who certifies the originality of the work? The person who may have guided you to carry out the research will certify the originality of your research work. Now the next element is the letter of transmittal. Now how does the letter of transmittal look like? So as the name suggests, the letter of transmittal has the same format as the business letters. Now this is called a letter of transmittal because it is directly addressed to the readers or the audience of your report. What does it consist of? The letter of transmittal gives an overall idea to the reader about the objective of the report and what they should expect in the report. So by writing the letter of transmittal, actually you are trying to make the minds of the readers ready to read about your report and they know exactly what to do with it. So the next one is the acknowledgements. Now what are acknowledgements? Let us see. The acknowledgement is a section where we can thank and acknowledge every person or institute who may have helped us in carrying out this research. So it consists of the names of the people and their organizations along with the reasons why you would like to thank them. Now many people may have helped you, like they may have given you some guidance about your topic, or some organizations or institutions must have helped you by allowing you to use their laboratories and their libraries for your research purpose. So you need to acknowledge their contribution towards your research. So let us move on to the next one. So that is the table of contents. Now this is how the table of content look like. It is list of all topics along with their page numbers and arranged in sequential order. Now the next element is the abstract. Now, what is an abstract? An abstract gives an idea about the report, particularly highlighting the objective of the report. It gives an idea to the readers that what your report may contain and what is your intention in writing this report. So, by reading the abstract of any report, one gets an overall idea about the report. So, what is the next element? So, the next element is the executive summary. The executive summary is the concise form of the entire report. That means it summarizes the report, but it is not in detail. It gives the objective of the report, it gives the idea about the data analysis, the methods used, and even the conclusion. Now, why the executive summary is written over and above the abstract? Now, executive summary is written so that people who may not have time to go into the detail of the entire report may just read the executive summary and get an overall idea about the report. They may later on go through the report in detail. Now, the next element is the introduction. So, your main body or your main report starts from the introduction. That is the introduction of your topic. Now, in the introduction, you will first introduce your topic by highlighting the objective of your topic. Now, this introduction also consists of the plan of your entire report. That means what all you have included in your report. It also gives the idea about the methods you may have used. It also gives an idea about what all methods you have used in your data analysis. So, now comes the data analysis, that is the real part of your report. So, what does this data analysis consist of? In data analysis, you present the facts that you may have gathered about your topic, going on to the analysis of the data. The data analysis may consist of many graphs, figures, or tables which will help you in calculating your data. So, after data analysis, we have the conclusions. Now, conclusions consist of the outcome of your data analysis. The conclusion may be the simple answer to the question from where you may have started, and it fulfills the objective of your report. So, after conclusions, if required, we also give recommendations. So, whenever there is an analytical report where you need to give some suggestions or recommendations, then after your conclusions, you'll also give recommendations. Now, the recommendations are the suggestions for implications of your outcomes of the report, which will then help in the future to solve certain problem or issue which was the objective of your report. So, after the recommendations, we have the appendix. Now, why the appendix is used? An appendix is a useful tool for putting any text or diagrams or graphs or tables which may hinder otherwise inside the report, and they may be related to the topic, but they are not needed at the moment, but if required, people may refer to them. So, appendices are always put at the end of the report, and they have certain information which are related to some topics inside the report. So, appendices may be many in different pages. For example, you can give appendix A, appendix B, appendix C, so on and so forth. So, after the appendix, we have the bibliography. Now, what is a bibliography? So, a bibliography is a list of all books, articles, journals or websites that you may have referred for your research purpose, and it also consists of the names of the authors, the publisher's name, the date of publications, the volume number, page number, etc. If you have referred to some online sources, you must give the name of the website along with its URL from where you have got this particular information. Now comes the last element of the technical report in manuscript format, and that is the index. Now, how is the index different from the table of contents? The index is a detailed list of all topics, subtopics and keywords which are arranged in alphabetical order. So index is even more helpful because sometimes if you are looking for a particular word, you should go to the index and find out about that word. You will get the paragraph in which that word is used. So that is the last element of your manuscript format. I hope you all have understood whatever we have done till now, and you will be able to write the reports using all these formats effectively. Thank you.